We're here at the incubator MindUp. I'm talking to Dan Shwarzman, who's the CEO. We're going to talk about how the process is to investigate 600 different companies, which they invest in 14 after a period of 5 years. And they have connections to big shareholders, the government, and build an ecosystem which helps to cherish companies. Okay, Dan, you came from a business background, Johnson & Johnson, but also a small startup. And then how was MindUp being funded and being started? How did the conception start?
So the government, basically the Israel Innovation Authority, published a tender to run, to offer proposals to run the incubator. Medtronic, IBM Pitango, and Rambam, which is a large hospital in Haifa, put together this group. I was fortunate enough to be recruited to put together the group, and we, put our proposal, received the tender or the license to operate the incubator, and then when we started about 6 years ago, and every company, basically we're self-funded, but every company that we invest in will also receive funding from the government.
Yeah. And I think it's a really nice way to do it. I mean, you have your own money, you invest in it. It's a total of 750,000, but of 80% of that is a loan from the government. It's actually a grant which turns into a loan. But if the company fails, the entrepreneur doesn't have to pay it back, and you get all the shares, you get all the equity.
Correct. So the program is that every company that we invest in will receive an investment of about $750,000 for 2 years, and 85% of that will come from the government as a grant, and 15% of that will come from us as investors.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the government will not take any equity in the company, but MindUp will take equity in the company. So MindUp is some kind of a very active, very hands-on investor.
Yeah. And what do you do for that right to receive that loan? I mean, what kind of services do you provide for the company, the startups?
So every company here will physically sit in our office for 2 years. They will receive an office here. They will get access to some kind of a laboratory or a workshop. They will get from us all the administrative support, logistics support, legal services, bookkeeping, everything.
Everything which is a nightmare and which doesn't focus on the real thing. Yeah.
Right. But then the other, I would say, not less important and even more, is all the assistance and support of my team and myself. So I will have a chief business officer, a chief technology officer, a chief financial officer, and we all view ourselves as extension of the team, trying to help the team to do the right thing and run as fast as possible.
Yeah. You have seen 100 companies a year, and about 2 of them you invest in. So you have a lot of companies you refuse. What are your criteria?
Yeah, so first of all, we saw even much more than many more than 100, but it's typically 100 or between 100 and 150 a year that fit our criteria in terms of the field and in terms of the stage. But then it's a very complex metrics, I would say, of the technology side, the market size, and the team. Team is a crucial consideration here, or crucial criteria in this stage, because without a great team that we see that first of all is high quality, the team itself, but also the ability to work with the team is very important for us when we're investing in a 2-people company typically.
Yeah, but you also help to create a team, right? That's also one of your tasks.
Right. One of the things that we do is actually we're working with inventors that are the physicians, researchers, scientists that are not interested in quitting the jobs and run a company, and we recruit a team. So we're working with entrepreneurs that are looking for idea but don't have idea and interested in starting a new company.
Yeah. And still very few companies make it, right? Out of 100 or 150, only 2 get invested. And then of these 2 which you invest in, those are 14. How many of them are still alive?
10 and 9 of them.
9 of them. Okay.
One we sold.
Yeah. And one of sold. And that was your first selling off of a company? That was the first company which you basically made you some money?
Yes, I mean, and this is also it was an opportunity. It's not an kind of a meaningful exit. It was selling a company at the beginning of COVID, and it was it was a good opportunity, but nothing to to publish as a huge success.
What happens to these hundreds of other companies? It's a gruesome process if you have to compete. And you are one of the first. You're one of the companies who is the first to invest in an early stage. So is it hard for these seed companies?
It is hard. It is hard. I mean, the earlier you come, the difficult it is, you know, it's not easy. You need a special, I would say, character to be able to run a two-people company. You need a strong character, even to go and ask for money.
Yeah.
And when you're not funded at the beginning, it's even harder.
Yeah.
You know, some people needs to quit their job and try to raise funds, and it's not easy.
So it's not Mecca here. It's not really the most easiest way to choose. The companies, after 2 years, they have to leave the incubator, and then they have to go on themselves.
They don't have to. We don't kick them out, but basically we fund them for 2 years, and you know, some of them cannot leave, and we are happy to host them here.
Give me 2 companies which you're the most excited of, which you think is the most promising.
First of all, we love all our kids the same.
You love all your kids, yes. I thought I would get that answer. It's yeah.
But I can speak about 2 very interesting companies. That one is a company that graduated from the incubator that called Gate Better, which is a company that is dealing with prevention of falls among the elderly population. Mm-hmm. This is a company that we licensed technology from the Tel Aviv Medical Center, and the company also received grant from the Horizon 2020 at the time, and did study in Europe in 5 centers. Mm-hmm. So this was this is a very interesting company that now is selling here. The technology is available to Israeli HMOs. Basically, all the elderly citizens in Israel can get access to this technology. And also, we recently started selling in the US. So it's a very interesting company that is dealing with a very painful issue. Yeah. Another company that I will mention here, and obviously there's a lot of information about all the companies on our website. Mm-hmm. But there is a company that is dealing with early detection of ovarian cancer, looking for biomarkers in a new medium that nobody looked at, which is vaginal secretions, and other companies that are very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being the first to have this incubator and for receiving us from the Netherlands. Very exciting. We're going to meet now a couple of these companies, and I'll make some videos of that too. Thank you, Dan.
Nice meeting you.